The word productivity has always sounded very intimidating to me. Now, I've always admired and watched productivity gurus showcasing various methods and techniques without realizing, however, that each of us actually has a productivity system of our own. Now, with that being said, and not proclaiming myself as a productivity expert, here's my system of keeping my work and life on track. I'm going to start with Notion, which I still consider myself relatively new to. I use Notion for everything YouTube related, aka my work. Although I find it cumbersome in many situations, especially on the interface of the iPad, I still can't find a better alternative or a legitimate reason to move to something else. Now, my Notion is divided into two main sections: personal and work related. My personal aspect is not as developed as in my Apple Notes app. However, I still find reasons to use Notions for personal elements when it comes to complex data or list organization stuff like my travel checklist, for example. Now, every time I travel, I'd like to make sure that I'm not forgetting something. With 2 kids, 2 cats, and a dog, I shouldn't forget my simple procedures because someone might end up starving while I'm gone for a few days. My Notion travel checklist was duplicated from somewhere, I can't remember where exactly, and I've tweaked it to serve my own purposes, and I'm pretty happy with it. When it comes to the ThisIsE channel, and shout out to me, and if you end up enjoying this video, subscribe because why not? I am delighted with my organizational structure. Each video, just like the one that you're watching right now, starts with an idea script that is tightly integrated with the sponsors that I'm working with, like Brilliant, who is kind enough to sponsor this video, by the way. Once the script is completed, it is broken down into a B-roll shots template that guides me to what I need to record or showcase on top of my talking head portion. Each video usually contains more than 50 B-roll shots, so making a good plan ahead of shooting is definitely worthwhile. Also, planning for each video shoot saves me time. It gives me more space for creativity like building sets or nice decors or working on a sophisticated intro segment. The default Apple Notes app is also default for me because it's native and always there. Before it was a channel organization tool, still now I use it for more personal information like vehicle data, real estate, memories, and documents. I shouldn't forget the quick note update, by the way, which I briefly mentioned in my last macOS Monterey video. I'll put a link to it below. If you're not aware, the quick note is exactly what you imagine, a handy hidden in the corner note that I can summon on demand and throw stuff in as I work. This is precisely like grabbing the Apple Pencil and jotting a quick note on the turned off screen of the iPad, but with a twist. When summoning a quick note, it doesn't always create a new scrap note, but instead uses the same one each time. This is great because I can get lost in my scrap notes as I've done in the past. Quick Note is clever too because I can dump links and even highlight stuff in Safari, ideas that I can get back to later in time for which Quick Note will remind me of upon later encounter. Very handy. Besides Notion and Notes, I also use an app called a physical notebook. Now, I recently came back to analog and I carried with me a real pen and paper to jot down things that come to my mind. For the most part, however, I use this little notebook to write down the 3, 5, or 7 things I want to work on or take care of on a given day. Whatever goes in that notebook is not deadline related, but goal oriented. In a nutshell, what are the 5 things I want to do today or tomorrow that will make me happy and help me consider that day a productive one? Of course, completing each line and goal is 10 times more satisfying than ticking any digital checkbox you can think of. Although it is not deadline related, I also have this stubborn internal feeling to make sure everything is scratched off at the end of the day to not consider myself a failure. So if it goes in this notebook, I'll most likely kill myself doing it. Uncompromising item to hold in my hand. Now, when something is deadline related, it goes in the default Apple Reminders app. Although I am a huge fan of third-party solutions like Microsoft To Do, rest in peace Wunderlist, I accepted that I have chained myself to the Reminders app because of Siri. When I commute and drive, I tend to use Siri to create reminders for things that come to my mind. So if it's time or date specific, it lives in Reminders. Note that I'm not using a calendar app at all because I find any calendar app either too ugly or too friction-packed to use daily. However, I plan to experiment with time boxing, which might force me to use a calendar later on, but we'll see. Nevertheless, the Reminders app works great and keeps all my essential to-dos, including annual, quarterly, and monthly stuff, in check. Now, let's talk about storage. I use iCloud Drive for absolutely all my files, except for temp stuff that I keep in my downloads folder, and of course, my video assets, which I'll talk about in a second. The rest lives on my iCloud Drive. I can refer to it no matter the computer that I'm working on. My favorite part is that I don't have to worry about backups when I'm switching to another Mac. I use the complete 2TB storage plan that Apple has to offer, and since iCloud is deeply integrated into Mac OS, I don't have to worry about offloading files or downloading things on demand, since the operating system is clever enough to handle everything based on my behavior. Also, that 2TB of iCloud storage is shared with my family as well. Now, my wife, mother-in-law, and in-laws all share the same space with me, without, of course, any of us being able to look at each other's files. Also, a huge bonus is the fact that their iPhone backups are over the air and are automatically uploaded to that same 2TB iCloud Drive. So really, one monthly fee for a single service that serves a purpose for 5 people while providing storage, backup, and protection for everyone. I can work off iCloud even on the smallest size 128GB MacBook. Firstly, because, as I said, macOS is intelligent enough to only keep the files locally based on my work habits. And second, because I do all my video editing on an external 2TB SSD. All my channel video assets are on another external SSD, which means that I can sit and work on any Mac with Final Cut and Affinity software installed. To keep everything clean for every project, I recently invested into a NAS, or Network Attached Storage, which I keep at home. Honestly, I'm still learning how to use and optimize it, but here's what I've managed to achieve so far. When I'm ready with a project, for example the video that you're currently watching, I consider many of the files expendable. Still, I insist on keeping a backup of B-roll footage because I often have to refer to something I shot in the past. Also, if you ask me, deleting absolutely everything is blasphemy because each shot involves planning, decorating, and a significant amount of time. So why not keeping it for future reference? So when the time comes, I delete everything that I won't be using, and the rest I run through an app called Compressor, which basically compresses and reduces the size of the video files significantly and automatically exports everything in a temp folder, which I call Synology. Synology is the brand of the NAS, by the way. With the help of the NAS software, I have pointed that this very Synology folder has to be considered a synchronized folder, which, as the name implies, is synced and uploaded to my NAS at home. So basically, a single drag and drop of many video files into Compressor and one press of a button to start a sequence results in a terabytes of data being drastically optimized and auto-uploaded into a redundant physical storage solution at home. Pretty clever if you ask me. Now, sometimes while I'm waiting for the compressor to archive all my footage, I don't feel like immediately jumping to something else. So I hop onto Brilliant's platform to keep my mind engaged and in shape. Currently, I'm taking a course called The Joy of Problem Solving. As you most likely know, problem solving requires creativity, intuition, knowledge, and skill, but it also requires practice. This specific course dives deep into 4 mathematical explorations, challenging to investigate patterns and create proofs. Like this course, Brilliant provides other courses with storytelling, code writing, interactive challenges, and problems to solve, helping you master the technical subjects, making you a much stronger mathematical thinker. To support the channel and sign up for free, go to brilliant.org/thisise. And by the way, the first 200 people to upgrade with this link will also get 20% off the annual premium subscription, which is what I use. Thank you, Brilliant, for sponsoring this video. Finally, we get to password management, which consists of 2 services, iCloud Keychain and an app called 1Password. I consider the Apple Keychain the most secure solution, and I use it to manage and store all my most important passwords and credit card information. Still, I also use 1Password for 2 reasons. First of all, I've been using 1Password for probably 10 years as I have come to build a lot of trust into it. I think it is one of the few password manager solutions that hasn't had a significant security breach or leak. Second, I use it because I prefer to have a second password manager when operating on another platform like Windows or Android. Interestingly, the latest Keychain update also has Windows integration and even two-factor authentication built in, so keep that in mind. If you are interested, I have a dedicated iCloud video that you might find helpful, which I'll link up there. And also, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to list them in the comment section below or ping me on Twitter. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is E, over and out.